What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to bring you a quick unboxing and overview of my new CPU water cooler. As you guys know, I recently purchased the Intel Core i9, the 10850K, which is a 10-core, 20-thread processor, 125 TDP, so it's going to run a little bit warmer, and I do plan on overclocking it. So that's why I went with 360mm Radiator. And the reason why I went with the Be Quiet one, the only two that I actually looked at were Be Quiet and Fractal. Fractal has one that's very similar to this, but this was actually on sale. I believe it was $105. I bought it on Amazon. I will put the link below. But the Fractal one was, I believe, $160, and then there's an NZXT one also that I looked at, but that one was like $180. So I thought this was some good bang for the buck, and the actual pump for this is a unique design, and this one you can actually refill. So at some point you could drain the fluid out of here and put new in, which will make this a little bit more of something you can keep for a longer period of time. So again, $105. I will put the link below if you want to purchase it. It's a 360mm Radiator water cooler, which I plan on using in my new case to help do a little bit more quiet, cool system. Currently, the computer I have now is in a Corsair 280X or 280 Air X, whatever you want to call it. It's a very, very loud case, so that's something I want to get away from and go to something a little bit more quiet. So let's jump in, see what we... Alright, so again, I got this on Amazon. Like everything else, right now most things I've been purchasing have been online because everything with COVID. They did have a couple coolers. They were mainly Corsair ones at my local Micro Center. I live pretty close to one, so I almost went that route so I could pick it up that day. But Amazon shipping has been pretty good lately, so I've been getting stuff fairly quickly. Alright, so this is the largest actual water-cooled radiator I've ever had before. I had a SwiftTech 220 previously, which is a I think it was a 240mm radiator, which did a really good job. So we'll see what we get here. It does come with 3 fans. The only negative is that I don't think they're PWM fans. Nope, these are PWM fans, so that's exciting. At least for me it is. So these are the Pure Wing 2. And again, if that focuses on it, these are PWM fans. Mainly how you can tell that is because it has 4 pins instead of 3. So if it has 3 pins, it's not PWM. If it has 4, it most likely is. They are 120mm fans. I may have said 140, but these are 120, which is fine. Again, I would prefer 140, but what can you do? So that's just some information there. Comes with 3 fans. The only negative that I see is that there's no rubber there. Kind of like how I wish I had some of my Noctua fans out, but it's going to be mounted to a radiator, so I'm not really worried about that. That has your general manual. They have 4 different coolers, 120, 240, 280, and 360. I actually would prefer the 280 and would have put it in the top of the case, but the case I have does not support 280 at the top, so kind of a bummer there, but it goes over all the product information, how to install it, everything you need for that, which could be useful. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's going to be for an LGA 1200 CPU, so I think it's pretty easy to actually install there. I'm going to be installing it in the front of the radiator, so I assume it tells you how to do that. Yep. So it looks like it probably just mounts right on there, but you will need this if you're going to install it and you're not 100% sure how to do that. So looking at the actual radiator, there's a little bit more accessories in here. Actually, there's a lot more. So this is extra fluid, so water-cooled systems will burn a little bit of fuel just naturally, not fuel, water naturally. So this is some extra coolant that you can use to, if you want to drain it a couple years down the road and refill it, you can do that, or you just need to top it off because it's low. So that's nice that they give you that option to have. That looks like it's it. So let's see what's in this actual. Cool. There's a ton of stuff in here. So I'm not going to go through all of this. This is just going to be all of your mounting hardware. So it is nice that it has them labeled. So you have your Intel and your AMD. Again, check the manual for that stuff. You do get a little bit of thermal paste there. I don't know if it's any good. I'll probably use the Noctua thermal paste I have previously from my system there, because I've had good luck with their thermal paste. And then it looks like these are just to connect your fans if you're just going to do it straight to like a power through your power supply. Sorry, it's been a long day. These are your screws to mount it, and then you do have 3 cable ties, which is, I guess that's a bonus. I don't know. I wish you could kind of choose what hardware you wanted. Like if you were just going to do Intel, you wanted a $5 cheaper option, you could just choose that, because I never use the AMD ones. So I feel like that's kind of a waste nowadays, since everything's going to more environmental friendly type packaging. I do like that all this is cardboard. This looks like recycled paper or cardboard. There is a lot of plastic in here, but we're not going to get into that. So another reason why I went with this fan, or this cooler, is that I really like the design of it. So you just have the nice Be Quiet logo here, and then you have this, what looks like some type of brushed aluminum. You have your mounting bracket here. This is not copper, which is a little bit of a disappointment, in that copper's a little bit better at dispensing heat, kind of pushing it out over, I assume that's just aluminum or steel. So that's kind of a negative. And this is plastic around here, so, you know, if it would have been metal, that would have been a little bit nicer, but oh well. And then you have your power there for, I assume, the LED on here. It does have an LED, so you do need a way to power that. And then you have power for your pump. So this is a different design, as the pump is actually not built into the connection here. It's actually built into here. So you have your small water pump there, which is a little small if you... and here's the radiator. So this does not feel like the most heavy, well-built radiator out there. That's the first thing I noticed picking it up, is that it's probably just aluminum. There's probably not much copper in here. So I'm not really sure how well this thing's going to work, but again, it was a cheaper option. And then you do have your fill port up there. Oops, sorry about that. You have your fill port up there at the top. So I would only get this if you can get it on sale. I wouldn't pay more than you know, a little over $100, $105 for it, mainly because it feels super light. I was expecting it to be a little bit heavier of a radiator, but we will see what kind of temperatures we get out of this and how good it actually is, or bad, depending on how things go. But it has 3 fans. I'm not going to do major overclocking with my CPU. I'll probably get the 5.0 or 4.8 and leave it there. But that's it, guys. That is what you get. So it is kind of nice you get 3 PWM fans, because if you price these out, these are probably going to be $12 to $15 a piece. Maybe a little cheaper if you can get them on sale, $10 to $15. So it is nice that you get some nice PWM fans for that, because some of them come with cheap fans. That's one thing about radiators. Some of them will come with some of the cheaper, not as nice fans out there. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, I will get this installed at some point and get some temperatures on it and see what we get. But that's it. So somewhat happy with it, somewhat not. It feels... I do like these cables here. They do feel like good quality for the actual cabling. But as far as the radiator, it feels a little bit kind of light and cheap compared to my SwiftTech one. Was so heavy, and it was just a 240 millimeter one, and it felt much heavier than this. And this, I wish, was copper. But those are my only 2 complaints. Otherwise, it'll work. We'll see what kind of temperatures we get, and that's it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, I will leave a link below for this if you'd like to purchase it. Leave your comments below. I'll get back to you. Have a good rest of the day, weekend, whatever it is, and I'll see you guys next time.